Good morning and welcome back to the Collective. It is Monday and we're ready to start the last week of the month off with a bang.
No news
today.
Yep.
So it'll take a little bit easier.
Low-hanging fruit objectives if there's a trade. I'm not going to try and hold it for a crazy long move.
Low-hanging fruit objectives.
Gonna grab the low-hanging apples.
That's no fun. You come on, you always want to swing for the freaking fences. Okay, to simplify my bias, this hourly change in state pretty much confirms that we run to London's high and Asia high for me.
Yeah, I want to see Asia's high because Asia's high opens, barely trades higher, doesn't trade into anything, doesn't form SMT, nothing. Leaves the high from Friday,
And then we put
and then slowly retraces all the way back down to this 4 hour.
We put that equal high in it, or relative equal high in at 10 pretty much.
So, yeah, I'd like to
Or not 10, 8.
I'd like to see a move from this 4 hour imbalance up to the opening price of today.
Yeah, it was pretty can't quite be bearish with this massive imbalance.
We have SMT at London. Oh, it's not London's low, but we have SMT at the lows here on the 50-minute chart.
Yeah, that's what I've got highlighted. 33 seconds. We're getting a 15-minute change in state and an inversion, which might just take over for my hourly inversion. So actually, that's on open. Sorry. The thing with this imbalance was if I was expecting it to get inversed, this reversal structure isn't clean enough, right? And also we look at ES and we say, well, ES higher time frame is definitely not bearish like NQ. Yes, we can totally see that we invalidated the daily imbalance here, right? So we trade lower. The previous day's low is taken with the daily candle. Then we get the expansion, closing, inversing that daily imbalance, falling short of the all-time highs. So to go on the daily and say I have a good directional bias on either of them, I can't because they're the opposite. So I got to go internal and trade internally. And that is London's high, Asia's high. That's the internal. So again, looking for longs. Really would prefer if it didn't leave the mall off. Everybody out when it runs. But seen shit happen, so. There's an hourly imbalance. Small. Very small.
I'm probably going to want to see this hourly candle close.
Oh, that's my thing too. I want that hourly change in state.
Yeah. I mean, we did get the 50-minute.
That darn candle, look at that
So
thing.
if we trade back into the 15-minute inversion and then get something out of it, maybe look to take it. I would need a strong 15-minute candle closure though.
Also, I'd like to say for shorts, I find it very hard to have a short bias just off of this structure right here. I'd want a good 4 hour closure, probably like halfway through. Holy shit. Yeah, halfway through there. If you look at that 1 minute chart, it's crazy.
Okay, we have another SMT at the lows now. ES didn't take that low. Just traded into its 15-minute inversion.
You soup it over there.
Oops. Okay, YM starting to get its move up too.
So NQ is a little bit weaker here as we see it. Well, so NQ had these relative equal lows, right? So when I mark out an SMT with relative equal lows, I'm a little bit, cautious. I want a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel as safe as a SMT with lows that are not left as relative equal lows.
We actually didn't get that 50-minute change in state, hey?
No. We got the inversion though. So if we look at this right now, we can see that, okay, New York AM, the pre-market session, generally consolidation, we open up, boom, takes the high, takes the low. What's that? Could be double purge. Boom, boom, and then we see the actual move higher, right? But at 9:30, you look for manipulation. If the bearish manipulation isn't really aligned with anything higher time frame, then this could be the true manipulation, plus it's the second manipulation. So now we're relatively...
The other thing is on the weekly chart, if you look at the previous weekly close, YM had the most bullish of the three. ES was in the middle, and then NQ was the most bearish. So ideally, I'd want to see NQ get some sort of like more displacement than the other two, just to try and get caught back up.
Okay.
Yeah, this hourly close is going to be definitely what I'm waiting for. If we can manage to get back up above the 8 o'clock closing price, or no, opening price, 8 o'clock opening price, and close up there before 10 a.m., that's like a
I'd be
high confidence
longs on that leg up there, I think. In my pre-market analysis, I'm definitely pretty unsure of bias, as in like where we were pre-market. I couldn't say. I'm bullish or bearish. I couldn't have one bias, so that's kind of a warning to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more observant of what's actually going on before jumping to conclusions. Like there's some days where I can take a trade off of the opening candle at 9:30, but there's some days where I gotta wait that 30 minutes until 10 a.m. closes to get better structure, right? Because the way I viewed it, we had that 4-hour candle, but it wasn't a confirmed reversal on that 4-hour candle yet, right? So I wasn't trying to say, yeah, we opened, we traded higher, now we're trading lower. Now that is the low, so it's technically an open low, and then I'm expecting it to flip. I didn't have anything that confirmed that yet.
Yo, look at the 30-second inversion. That would be crazy.
Look at the 1 minute. I can't look at the 30-second.
Crazy inversion.
Still that S&T there. If we look at ES did get this 15-minute change in state.
On the 1 minute, do you have that SMT as well? That internal SMT?
I don't want to put too many SMTs on the charts.
But do you have it there? I'm not going to mark it. I just want to know it's there.
Oh, do I? Oh, no, hold on. Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting to get the flip back up.
So I'd wait for this 5-minute closure, and then do it the bodies to London's high.
There's a 2 minute, 1 minute gap, yeah. I mean, in this scenario, because it's pretty much just a straight down up move, I almost want to wait for like the 1 minute to get inversed and then trade into it and then displace off of it again. Then I can have a little bit tighter stop.
I'm watching this gap though. This gap. Recently, I've been seeing this first percent of the gap do some funky things. So. This kind of reminds me of Friday. Price action wise. It's pretty similar with how we trade into that imbalance. It's a little bit different, obviously. They're going to rhyme, and it's not going to be a replica. I was looking for the 5-minute change in state, but what makes sense is also the 2 minute or just the 1 minute inversion too. They all make sense as the discount, the entry to the
Yes.
to the draws. So plus the inversion's got a really good break even, bro. So we didn't close that inversion. So that's good because now I'm going to be able to take this 5 minute. Yeah, so I took the 5 minute on Friday. That's the trade I took. The 5 minute change in state. Same exact thing. 5 minute change in state though. The 1 minute inversion did work, but I wanted to just have the extra confirmation.
This 2 minute gets inversed in 30 seconds here.
Yeah. See, in this case, I might just take the 2 minute change in state here. Because ES has already had that 50-minute change in state, because we're getting the aggressive move off of it.
And we're going to get the 5 minute as well. 3 minute change in state happens in 20 seconds, or no, minute 20.
The 5 minute doesn't happen yet.
5 minute happens in, 2 minutes. Are you in there?
Yeah. I got in on that 2-minute close.
Okay. I'm also in.
I've got a really good feeling. I also didn't do full size because it's pre 5-minute change in state. I'm in 3 instead of 4. And I trust this break even here. So again, the reason I got such a good or high confidence in that entry model is because I was literally talking through it the entire time. I said, yes, if this is the initial manipulation, this is the real manipulation. That's the double purge profile. Look for this reversal, get the change and stay off of it to then see the higher time frame expansion out of the PDRA to the relative equal highs. Okay, ES took the internal high there. So I want to see NQ push aggressively through it. This 5-minute closes in 9 seconds, which is also, okay, no, it's just a 5-minute.
Okay, we traded to the 3-minute change in state there.
5-minute closed.
1 minute. Our first presented for value gap inversion.
Okay, the what I was talking about was off this SMT, not wanting to see this is what I didn't want to see off that SMT. But I wasn't going to go ahead and go, yeah, I'm going to close my trade there. So the 5-minute change in state did happen. Now you get your retracement to the discount. Still holding the inverse for value gap. So we'll see. Definitely some aggressive price action. Aggressive choppy price action. So we technically closed back below that inversion there. But not on the 2-minute. We're not invalidating that yet. So I'm still in this.
We're still in the 5-minute order block too, so.
Yeah. My stop loss is pretty tight, but well, first off, I didn't want to see it run this discounted, so I'll keep my stop loss where it is.
I had mine below the 931 low.
Mine's the 5-minute candle low.
Okay, yeah.
So I actually got back into profit on the trade there, which is something I usually see before I get stopped out. So that's not that good, especially with the wicks like that. That's just something I've noticed. It's like the last chance. Because if we're gonna be honest, every time we see a good expansion trade off of open, it's quick and it doesn't have a deep retracement and mess around. So
most of the time, yeah.
So what's acceptable would be for it to completely engulf this and then form a propulsion block, you could call it. I guess it's the second order block. But just this 5-minute candle would be way better if it was a green one. Otherwise, I'm feeling like this S&T would be something to watch out for, but I would want this I wanted this 15 minute to have this change in state.
ES and YM are looking good. They're getting movement.
Yeah. Which is something to monitor, because that could just be saying that NQ is a little bit delayed because it is weaker. So then once it starts, once it will start expanding, and then we'll be running on all of them. So again, ES just took the internal high one more time, which is more bullish, even for NQ. That's why I don't. Sometimes when people trade inversions and their stop loss is a close below the inversion, I don't like that. You don't have defined risk, and you get things like this happen where it closes, and then it can totally run back higher. Is that the new 5 minute? Oh, one more minute. I'd really like that change state on the 15 minute. It's not far off of getting it, but it doesn't look great. And we need to close higher through it, preferably.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really looking like in the next 40 seconds we're going to get back up there. So NQ is definitely weaker here, and it's definitely okay. Wicked the stop loss there. So that's the amount of that trade.
I'm still in this. My stop loss is at the 931 low.
Yeah, I don't like the structure off of that SMT for sure. It's not my favorite thing. I have one more bullet in the chamber to potentially, if this was it taking my stop loss to the tick, then I'll.
There is SMT there now. Those internal SMT.
Oh, my stop loss only got taken on MNQ.
ES never took that low.
But what I'll do is I'll re-enter if there's something really good. But other than that, I don't need to. Because if it's failing to rally off of that 5 minute change in state on open, then I don't want to be taking part in this consolidation. It's the reason I had a tighter stop loss was because I was expecting a more aggressive move, right? And then I highlighted, that SMT. I don't want that to be the high, and sure enough, it was the high, and that leads to the stop out. But me having the tighter stop loss is mitigating the loss here, right?
Sure. I got stopped out there.
If I had a bigger stop loss, I'd have a worse RR trade. When in my eyes, trading to that low is just it's an invalidation of the trade as much as that is. So take the tighter risk one. So now what I look at is the hourly candle. I want to see if we can even get that change in state now. Since currently we've got an open, we moved higher, moved lower, we moved lower, we moved higher, we moved lower, moved back higher. So it's a horrible candle. It's just a consolidation candle. So now I want to see the hourly change in state to confirm something. If not, then I'll just assume that we're going to just dump.
And ES and YM are both failing to get that change in state as well. They're back below it.
And we could totally be seeking this equilibrium here.
So it could just be a 10 a.m. reversal maybe.
Yeah, kind of like what was it? Tuesday, Wednesday? No, Thursday. Thursday, kind of like Thursday. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with the half size trade on that first one. I didn't have the full one of the 50-minute close. I didn't have the full confirmation for a full size trade, so I wanted to de-risk it a little bit. Okay, watching this for
That's
potential reentry.
that's weird. It's
Well,
left the low.
well, that's not horribly weird. We're still looking at that hourly change in state now. So
Damn, so I got stopped out by like 6 points.
can't be salty if you you got to put your stop at the low. Then
Well, I guess so.
it depends on the risk you want on the trade. I'm watching. I'm not in on that. I want to see the.
I'm waiting till
I
10
want to see
a.m. for
another
sure.
15. I want to see if we can get a 5-minute and 50-minute close here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 10 a.m. for sure. Just to see how the hourly candle closes in the 4 hour.
The 2-minute change in state. Yeah. I don't want to re-enter in this one because we left that sell side, right? So if 10 a.m. opens, just absolutely plummets, takes these lows, then has the reversal, I would feel like a freaking goofball for taking this without the 5 and 50-minute close. So I definitely want to see this 50-minute close because this is like the same thing as Thursday. I think it's Thursday. And then yeah, still the good higher time frame to buy. So if I'm only down 160 on the day, I still have another full or decent sized trade I can do. I might do another. I might only do 100 and some. Depending on how good it is and the break even status. I did want 10 a.m. to open though above the hourly change in state level. That's my thing. I didn't want it to. I don't want 10 a.m. to open lower, then get the aggressive move. I mean, that's totally fine on like a 15-minute basis because then we'll have this 15-minute order block we can form. But I'm thinking if we're going down to equilibrium here of this wick low from 9:30 on Friday. Now, what would make you believe we don't take out that hourly low? That would be this hourly change in state, right?
Yeah.
Or the 50-minute change in state. That's when I'd feel confident in putting my stop loss at that low. So if we get that, I'll fully take it and put my stop loss at that low. But I don't want to wait. I want to wait until we do that because like entering pre-10 seems a little bit sketchy in my opinion today. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm just not confident with the high we left there, and the overall structure to it, right? So it's just a little bit worse. 6 minutes, and we'll find out the true bias. Well, maybe this 4 hour still looks bearish, but if we get the hourly change in state, then we'll know. Still got a whole another 5 minute candle though. Does just look like a consolidation though. We had the opening move higher than lower. Then we kind of just are sitting within that range. Well, the look of it, we would take out those lows one more time. But honestly,
Yeah, I don't know.
actually, sorry, I spoke too soon. If this candle isn't taking these highs and starting to slowly reverse, then we just expand. But if it just takes these highs, like these 3 highs right here, one more time and closes back down here, it looks stupid.
Well, the 5 minute looks terrible.
Yeah.
This is barcoding.
Yeah, we want the expansion. Well, the 15 minutes it looks good, right? So that's what I'm watching. Hourly change in state, 15-minute change in state gives me a better bias. I want to trade in line with that 15-minute change in state. I want to be taking that. Which is funny because we actually failed to get it the first time. It's got 3 minutes. Now I feel that we would be left behind in these 3 minutes. But I'll take whatever fill it gets me when it's getting that 50-minute change in state. I don't want to be doing it above the high, but it might be. That's the unfortunate thing.
That's just an oddly deep retracement without taking the low.
It happens. Happens a bit. Actually happens quite a bit.
Okay, yeah, so we'll get the hourly change in state. And then I would probably look for, I mean, there's that 2 minute gap. I don't really want to just mark it by a gap though.
I'm already in.
Okay.
I just did I just pre-fired slightly.
I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for,
I want it to be buying at least below this high here. So. And I'm letting it, well, because I wanted a bit better fill because this 50-minute, I did anticipate it to leave us slightly behind. So now at least I get a monitor with a little bit of room how we play this high. Because, you know, regardless, we can still reject a little bit and close here, and that's still the 50-minute change in state. But now I'd be a little bit off put with taking the 50-minute change in state. So, yeah.
so we'll see what that does.
So we got the 12 seconds here till the hourly change in state and the 50-minute change in state happen. Off of the SMT at the lows.
Okay, so we got the change in states and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only thing for me is going to be out of the, if we form a 5 minute gap.
Yeah, I was going to say that 5-minute gap.
I'll look to get realigned in there.
Sounds like you're going
If
on
it just,
spiritual retreat when you say realigned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get realigned in here.
Yeah.
So now in this case, I would fully expect 10 a.m. to just expand. That's my thing.
I'm looking to see if YM can take the 6 a.m. 4 hour candle low. It's pretty close to it.
Well, what's YM doing here down there? What the?
And then from there, I'd like to. Well, because then Nike will get that retracement to the.
It did kind of just get the retracement.
15.
It did just tick the 2-minute. So
Yeah.
depends what you're looking at.
That
And
might be it there.
And it did trade to a 15-minute order block or a 50-minute breaker if you went with the highest of the highs there.
Yeah.
Left a pretty freaking monstrous wick there. Okay, so we get through 50% of that, I'll go to break even. Makes sense. Yeah, and I'm holding this to Asia high there, which is a good amount of pointages. Well, YM's pretty freaking close to that south side, actually.
Yeah. It's only 10 points away.
Yeah, and it can definitely take it while NQ's still expanding, which is the funny thing, because it does that. Okay, so actually you should put up at this. My stop loss was mitigated there.
KYM took that low.
Okay. Well, NQ's still expanding, so see, that's what I was talking about. So NQ can be going up and YM can go down here. So they move the same, but not really. They move the same on a little bit of like the 15-minute. They kind of move the same sometimes, but internally they're fucking off. So if I had a better fill, I would have probably been at break even after we took these internal highs here, but my fill wasn't good enough to be at break even. If I was in there, I would be at break even once we took those internal highs. My break even now is once we start fully filling through this wick here. So if we close up above that constant encroachment, it's my sign. Because then I just expect it to go. Did it close? Nope. Or if we take the high of the wick. Because my theory would be, if I take that and we're putting a new high in here, I'm expecting it to expand through the high, and then if it comes down and takes me out of break even, there'll be a re-entry if this is the right bias still. But in my eyes, it wouldn't come back down after taking this internal high. Okay, so I moved it to break even there. Because now if it retraces fully, then, well, I'll get back in. But it did tap that 2 minutes, so.
They right at first say I don't like market buying gaps or limit buying gaps.
I don't even think, yeah, you would have got filled, but freaking hardly. Would have been a great fill.
PB took that 30-second inversion that I was talking about.
Oh, and then he took it off. Why did he take it off before?
SMT. As soon as he put the SMT, he took it off. Because he was in already. It was already like a 2R.
So I would have done the same thing. I would have taken it off the SMT if I was up 2R. So, like I said, with that 5 minute close, now I would no longer want it to trade back below that 5 minute wick there. All of the dealing should be done within this 5 minute candle we just formed. It just makes the most sense. And if you looked at the 50-minute 50-minute 10 a.m. opens, we put the low wick in. The wick of that is actually trading into an imbalance. Then we're getting the expansion. So, in my eyes, that next 66 points to London high, Asia high should be relatively quick. Now we'll follow along with the other ones too, because honestly, NQ looks more bullish right now than ES does. So
yeah, it flipped, which is nice.
Yeah. And how's the YM doing?
It's still below that low. It's not displacing lower.
Yeah.
It's kind of just consolidating.
Yeah. Kind of could hint at once it flips NQ ripping more, or it could kind of, that's why we're not really expanding, is because it's not ready. But if that's the candle there, then here we go. We've got this premium hourly imbalance that we're working through too. What I'll do is I'll take one off at London's high here, which is 15-minute highs, just because they're relatively equal. So I want to be partialing at these strong highs. There. And I don't think that difference in profit is much. Yeah. So like me taking the one off, I miss out on $80, but I secure over 100. So that's positive in my eyes. And I like partials at good levels. So if this is what I deem a good level, then yeah, it's a good partial. Nice. Slow.
Yep. We have another 5-minute gap now that we just opened up.
Yeah. I am just being careful though, because there's this premium hourly. As much as I expect that to fully get ran through, I'm gonna mark it out here so we can see it. Again, ES isn't getting the expansion, right? Which is something to note because technically now we've got internal SMT here in this premium hourly. Just because ES hasn't seen that expansion yet. So I want to see it flip. I want to see it start running aggressively. Like it's got the 15-minute closes and the hourly close, but it's just not running higher.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is YM's failing to reverse and ES is just chopping.
Yeah, I partialed one right there. Just because NQ was chopping around here in this hourly. Last thing I'd want is to see it just, happens too much where I get off the break even after being up, and it falls short of this, especially in, this month is this monthly, or this trading month, I should say. It just is falling short of everything and reversing. So, well, except for the odd time where you get the expansion, but I don't want to be left with my entire bag. Minute 50 till we have a new 15-minute candle. Maybe we're consolidating for that, but I'm just gonna tell you what, this price action looks pretty crap right there. I'm using this as my PDRA this week. My hourly bias seems pretty good though. One more of these stupid wicks and I'll be getting antsy here. If it just trades higher, then wicks back lower.
Yeah. Just fell short of that 5 minute, hey?
It did just fall short, yes, but ES traded to its the same low. Yeah. This is a new 15-minute candle close.
Trading to that 3 minute order block there.
Yep. Could be your continuation entry, or you take that and have a stop at that internal low.
No, I wouldn't take that. Unless there was SMT and all of the assets were reversing. And it's just a little close to the target for me.
Yeah. Well, I guess you wouldn't be taking any off at London high, or you'd be taking them all off at the Asia high.
Yeah.
You let it all go.
Well, the trade I was in earlier would have been all off at London's high.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because of low hanging fruit. I didn't know if it was going to chop around first. I was just going to take it all off here.
It did totally chop around first. And then we get the expansion with the 10 a.m. move. Well, my thing was I want to be cautious about those lows if 10 a.m. opens below the hourly change in state. But since we formed the hourly change in state, I was good with being in before they took those lows because I didn't anticipate them to not get taken because that's a 15-minute change in state candle. So now we just sit and wait because we want to see the expansion. It's funny.
Yeah.
Completely inversed his trade.
Who was that?
What?
Who was that?
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
Here's your 5-minute gap getting traded to. Potentially. Here's also me understanding that we're consolidating.
ES traded to its hourly change in state as well, and then rejected off of it a little bit.
Yeah, it did actually. That's pretty deep retracement for that. Oh, Enki's getting the rejection again. Shit. Needs to stop messing around. Like if it's gonna chart to that 5 minute, just do it, then get the expansion. A lot of messing around on this trade, so that's why I'm still good with that break even there. There's that 5 minute trade too. It's my
Traded it quite aggressively.
that's my last resort there. It's pretty close to that break even there, so just that 5 minute can't run through it. Otherwise, I'm starting to see a little bit of a different bias coming. I guess we get that lower 15 minute, but there's a decent reaction here. Now I do want the follow through though. I don't want any like any indecisiveness would be weird for me. Yeah, so like if we don't get the close up there, not liking that.
He's talking or what?
Trump's about to come talk. Let's see what I like that 5 minute wick, but I want the green candle here. The green 5 minute candle. What are the other things doing here? ES chopping still. Could imagine trading it. YM down. NQ happens to be the more bullish one here. It's fine.
We're going to get this change in state on the 1 minute.
Five-minute candle close there. So want to preferably see this next 5-minute candle also expand higher, continuing the delivery from that 5-minute, getting that 5-minute change in state. But if we look at everything else, it's just not moving together today. So with that movement, I want to see that 1-minute change in state, which could be an entry here as the continuation entry.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that with light size and then just let it go to ages high.
I might even get back in more, like pyramid it.
Because it wouldn't make sense to trade down to that lower imbalance now. That's way too deep of a retracement. So
yeah.
This should be the expansion.
I wanted a nice big green up candle there on the 1-minute. Not that. I don't know if you notice anything about this. It's that it's consolidating in this hourly imbalance, which I highlighted, which is fine considering it's not inversing everything to the downside and delivering from it. But it is sometimes tedious to trade these conditions. Did I get that 1-minute change state? I got that 1-minute change state.
Oh yeah,
Did it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to whip this 3-minute candle close, but I think it might just go without me if I do. See.
Okay, I added and trailed. I wonder if that's a good idea.
Depends where you trailed to.
That low in the 5-minute.
Oh yeah, that should be fine.
Feeling like I could have got a better fill now, is what I'm thinking. That down move. Great. As soon as I add, we're going down here. Wow. Just horrible price action. Yeah, no, I just added because then it was a pyramid entry, and I knew that if I added, I'd be able to trail to that low there, but I didn't immediately expect it to just get re-engulfed. Yeah, no, I totally thought that'd be the last chance to get in before it goes higher there.
So ES or sorry, YM is a 15-minute fair value gap now that it just formed. So if we can start to see that get inversed, that'd be good sign.
It'd be absolutely great if we could start to go higher. Looks like a down candle. Doesn't look like a green candle to me. This is some bad price action, honestly. Super tedious. Even if it ripped, I'd be like, that was painful. Just look, we've been in the same price range since 10 a.m. pretty much. 10 a.m. opened and was here. And then it gives me hope every up candle, which sucks.
Like I don't even know if I want to get in this clear draw, but YM and ES just look like trash. I mean, so does Enki doesn't look great.
Enki looks pretty bad too.
But the draws, in my opinion, on NQ alone is clear.
Yes.
Looks terrible, hey? Okay, well, if I was getting in this, it would be on the 3-minute change in state. Off of the 5-minute. But I think I'm just going to sit out.
Oops. 3-minute change in state's happening in 12 seconds. I don't know, I'm still like, I'll take it for the higher time frame structure. I won't like say, yeah, it's consolidating and it's bad because it's the 1 minute's crappy, but it definitely looks crappy. It's hearing me talk all this crap to it. That's why it's not moving. I wouldn't be talking crap to you if it was doing one thing. So it, jeez. Well, the good thing is we're not ES traders. You're not trading ES because it's more bullish. Could you imagine the hair you'd be pulling out? You'd just be so stressed because you're in ES. You wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but I think you'd be sitting and just like, oh my gosh, is what you'd be doing. Okay. NQ looks like the 5-minute candle might get this change in state. Then we're right by London's high, so we should take London's high pretty quickly after that. If it's finally breaking out of this reaccumulation, is what I'll call it. Oh my gosh. Nope. One more time lower. Sorry, I lied about that 5-minute looking like it's gonna get the change in state.
Might finally get the change in state here in 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna take this.
I wouldn't. It keeps throwing freaking wild cards in there.
Well, and ES looks terrible. YM's hasn't flipped. But solely looking at NQ, this 3 minute order block would be the entry. You don't even get it either.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
So I scoffed. I'm just like, this is unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable. It's really making me want to just close my trade. So yeah, I'll just close it now and get green. I didn't actually close it. I was completely joking, but holy shit, I should just close it now and be green, right? It's like reverse psychology. It's like every time you do that, and it just pumps. So didn't quite take London's high yet. Okay, so we're super close to London's high here. So we're finally gonna take it out. Sorry, shouldn't say anything. We're finally close to taking it out. But it doesn't mean anything. Oh my gosh. Dude, I actually looked away and then it's just I'm like, yeah, we should take London's high. We're only We're only half a point away, ain't it?
Yeah.
This is some of the gayest price action I've seen. I'm allowed to say that. I should have just closed it out. I should have closed it when it was a takeaway. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom because I need to not be watching it for it to go up. You fucking kidding me? Isn't that stupid?
Yeah.
What was that? It was literally a point and a half away. I was like, yeah, I should just be able to leave it in it, take it. Any green candle you should just sell. It's just
Oh, holy man, so slow.
I'm trying to think who it feels slower for, you not being in or me being in it. Like I think it's close. I think it might feel a little bit slower for me because I'm freaking like the nerves are ripping. Obviously, you're in a trade, so right. Honestly, now I expect nothing of this trade. Like just with what it's done, I've got no expectations for it anymore.
Yeah, and YM just kept dumping too.
Yeah, well,
It hasn't reversed.
since I don't really care about YM, it's more ES.
Well, same thing for ES. ES hasn't done anything either.
Yeah, it's just consolidated. NQ's consolidating in this hourly gap too, so that's kind of my reasoning to it. But I've sat through a lot of bullshit for this. Is there? Okay. Maybe taking the probably take the break even here and then not trade anything. But if it's anything like on the buy side, we'll get super close to my break even and then reverse. When's this 50-minute candle close? Oh, it closes this minute. So unless we get an aggressive expansion and close there in 13 seconds, there's no 50-minute change state or order block. I mean, there's no 50-minute order block. So and there's not even a 50-minute gap that I would say it wants to trade to or running. It literally, in my eyes, is just the consolidation, and we'll expand from it at some point. That's all I see. That's a pretty sucky thing getting 2.5 points away from London's high there. SMT at those lows? Right there. So I guess now I have a reason to say it should go higher. But how strong is that really? I guess it's the only like real sell side that was taken on ES, which kind of looks crappy though on any time frame. But I guess if you're looking for continuation NQ, SMT should help. I literally should shut my computer off.
Yeah,
Like,
and just come back in a couple hours when it's possibly above London's high.
Stays in between the two. That'd be funny. No, because my thing is, if it's going to run anytime, it's going to be off this SMT. So I'm still sitting here waiting for it to run off the SMT. We got a 4-minute change state.
Got the 1 minute one as well.
Yeah, that's what you're in.
I'm not in though.
You're not gonna take it.
No.
No, it's.
I do like it though, but I just
It's better because the SMT, but I don't trust it honestly. And you think being in a trade, you should trust it, but this is just it's the way it's consolidated here.
well, now that we have the SMT, it's ready.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it when ES and YM are looking like that.
Okay. So the way I view it right now, London high is guaranteed, and Asia high should be quick too. Okay, that was London's high falling short, like falling right short of London's high by I think half a point. Okay, we put it into the tick.
There it is.
We tapped it to the tick on mine. There we took it finally. So is that just breaking through the frickin' thing that now we'll finally get the move? Okay. I mitigated $100 off of my negative P&L, which was all of it. Now I'm green $26, and I've got still my original contracts running for the TP up there. Where was my fill on that one? Must have been a good fill. Decent fill. It'd be hilarious if we reversed. So yeah, the rest of my position I am holding to Asia high. No, I don't think it would make sense to not take Asia's high. I'm just looking at that because it's projecting off of London's high. I'm just like, ah, crap. But then I'm like, it doesn't make sense to reverse.
Yeah, no.
But so it's happening. So I partialed one there. It was just in case. But I wasn't going to take it all up there because I just don't think the reward was worth it. What I was risking. Definitely a slow day to watch. There's technically S&T here. But now it just looks like I'm drawing on trend lines. So maybe we just need another hourly candle to close here. And because then we'll inverse that hourly. Then maybe even close up above London high here. Oh, wow. All right, well. So it's looking like it's going to do a reversal. Unless it bounces off the bottom of the trend line, which is stupid. But, yeah, just going off of what it's showing me. It's not showing me anything beautiful. It's pretty ugly. Unless that's just the OTE drop. Jeez. It just looks stupid, though, because we're back in the range. I guess if it's going to flip the script fully and do that, though, that's fine. Still 3 minutes and 30 seconds till this hourly closes. So now that we've traded technically back into the hourly there and we're reacting out of it, I do not want to see it close below it. We gapped up there with that candle. Weird. So was it 1 more minute? 2 more minutes, sorry. 2 more minutes until this hourly is closing. There. So such a weird movement. But in regards to the hourly close, it's looking better now. Since we'll be closing hopefully at or above London high. Jeez. So this just feels like a Monday.
It does, yeah. Delivered to the draw, but just super slow.
And I know we sound unconfident about what's going on, but only because we're in a consolidation. At least we knew we were in a consolidation. But I don't like.
I mean, we knew where it was going to go.
Well, exactly. And the higher time frame's clean.
Yeah.
Now we have the new hourly close, which I said it closes London high or above, which it did. So now we're good here, but just the slowest price action internal I've ever seen. Internally, it's pretty wicked actually. How slow it was. So now with what I would expect, Asia's high should be taken soon because the hourly candle closed above there. And honestly, Asia high isn't necessarily the full target. This could be framed as a target too. But I guess I'll watch how we take Asia's high. If it doesn't start looping, or not looping, it doesn't start bending like this, and goes like relatively straight up, then it's not that good. As you know, you should see expansion from consolidation. So if we're leaving the consolidation, then you want it to be quick. This is the consolidation on the 5-minute expansion, retest the equilibrium of it, and we should get big move higher. I just don't think you understand how much I want to just close it and walk away. Like, just I don't like holding. I love when moves are just right to my draw, and those are the best trades. Sometimes you're playing with you're in a trade and it's a Monday, and those days are less probable. So it's exactly what today feels like. ES moving it? No. NQ's leading, but I'm thinking when ES starts turning, NQ really expands. I wouldn't call any of this expansion yet. Slow grind. Why does it just seem like it's not in the cards today? Asia's high. It's
I
just like it
I
was.
honestly don't think it will be.
Really? You don't think we can do 20 points?
Well, okay, well if it's that close, it looks further based on how slow we've been moving. It looks super far.
Well, if you zoom out, it looks far, right? Like if you go to the 15-minute, it looks relatively far. But if you go to the 1 minute, it looks like it's right there. Okay. Yeah, once this takes HS high here, I'll be out of the trade, and then we'll end the live stream, and we'll come back tomorrow for hopefully some better price action. But it's been a very, very slow, grindy day. Gonna get off, go do some journaling. Yeah, do a few Twitter posts. Just grind today, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, it's the plan. Once it takes Asian high, which should be close.
Might be a 6-hour live stream.
No, it's not going to be 6 hours. Have faith, brother. See, if we took that trade at open, but had a stop loss, so you take the 5-minute change in state, and if you have the stop loss at the low, your trade to Asia high could be a 2R, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't want that. Like my trade.
Well, I think usually you don't trade that deep.
Exactly. That's why I did have mine mitigated. So on the 1 minute to Asia's high, I had a 4R, right? So why would I take a 2R if I could take a 4R and it, in my eyes, be the same? Like, if we trade below here, it should stop the other one out.
Yeah.
And even so, that people were shorting to my could have been stop loss, but it was mitigated, and I wasn't risking as much. So yeah, sure, the 4R is not the same as if I hit a 4R with the full size, but I didn't want to be full size on that first trade anyway. Actually, I don't think I wasn't full sized at all today. Even on the second trade, I still was only risking 170. So I got like $80 off of full size, which is decent when you hit a 3R. Like that's an extra, $240. But overall, content with the profit on the day, just not the price action. Obviously, I wanted a little bit more entertaining price action, and this for sure was not that. People are starting school. Let's forget about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Starts. Does like college university start August or September? Because I thought it started like last week of August or something.
Sorry,
This university or start in end of August?
I thought, yeah,
I thought it did.
Well, one of my friends, he moved to Cincinnati, and he's starting college. So
Okay.
not sure how they fucking do things down in America, but I'd rather live there for the tax reasons. Because we get shafted in Canada. Some people think Canadian taxes aren't bad, but they're actually horrible. There's so many other incentives to be in different places. I just don't get it. Okay. Coming up to Asia High. Just kidding. Never mind. Said that at the high of that candle. Jeez. We got some more volatility, though. That was in a second. Jeez, I'm falling asleep, though. I got to grab a coffee because, gosh. The one contract holding. Let's see if it. One micro.
I'm actually just looking over the trade that I kind of called out that 2 minute gap, but I said I didn't want to just buy into it. taking that 2 minute that gap at right at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's so funny. You would have bottom ticked it if you just fucking.
No, it's not even that. It was just the reason I didn't take it was so yeah. Technically, the
That was
so when I got stopped out, there wasn't SMT yet, but then like 3 minutes later, there was SMT with YM. And then once the 9 o'clock candle closed, we were both like, okay, we're about to pump.
Oh,
The only PD right there is that 2 minute gap.
the 9 o'clock candle.
Yeah, once the 9 o'clock candle closed,
10 a.m. opened. Yeah,
the only PD right there was that 2 minute gap.
exactly.
But the reason I didn't take it was because off of the SMT at the lows with at YM wasn't reversing.
Yeah,
It was continuing to sell off. So I was like, okay, well, if we, get another move lower.
So you waited for the internal manipulation to happen one more time. My qualification.
Not even these lows. I was honestly just thinking like because we had that 5 minute, right?
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe we're gonna get below the 10 a.m. open and they'll start to flip.
Well, so here's the thing, right? You talked about the 5 minute. There wasn't really an entry past that point. Like there was not really a good entry past that point.
The only one was that
Out of the 5 minute.
that 5 minute SMT. Remember right here,
Yeah, right there.
SMT, and then the 1 minute change in state.
Yeah, but you'd be freaking
break even.
Yeah. So what good is that?
Yeah.
Especially because you would be holding to Asia.
I think any other day, like if it's moving cleanly, that trade too, that continuation trade would play out a lot quicker.
The entry that I like and that I actually took was this. So we have the failure swing here. Sure, you put SMT in whatever. I was basically saying these are relative equal lows until they're proven not. As in, like, I want them taken until it tells me that they're not going to get taken. So you see this. There's a 1 minute change in state there. That is not enough confirmation because the 3 and it was the 2 and the 3 minute didn't do anything. So then I sat and waited. We got the retracement, 50% of that expansion. Then we got one more move higher. That closing above this high right here was where I wanted to be entering in. Because now we were back above the 15 minute level and the hourly level. That would be the change in state. And I didn't want to get left out. So I went in a little bit there, let it took it, expanded, didn't go. Actually, I went to break even, but didn't get taken out of break even. Wait, did I go to break even? No, I mitigated my stop loss. I went to break even at this hourly. Wait, where the frick did I go to break even? Oh, no. I went to break even once we closed up above the constant encroachment of this wick at 10 a.m. That's what I did. Okay, so then we see 10 a.m. opens, gets the 50 minute change state. The wick forms, trades into the 2 minute, right? So entering within there was my preferred entry. So that's why I did it there instead of looking for the actual trade out of the 5 minute. Okay.
So actually, yeah, I would have been in that. I would have taken that 2 minute gap if the SMT at that lows, like where we put that failure swing in and where I got stopped out, would have actually, if we would have started reversing on YM.
I think it was the
at that point.
I think it was the wick at 10 a.m. That thing looked super aggressive.
Well, in the moment I was looking at it, right? And I didn't have the SMT marked out actually because YM wasn't reversing off it. It was just selling off. So I didn't have it marked out. But if YM would have reversed off that SMT and started like getting some movement to the upside, I would have probably taken that 2 minute gap. But it's that SMT that was throwing me off a little bit. Plus, I didn't really like the way. I mean, look at ES. ES on like any time frame.
I don't want to look at ES.
It's nasty.
Well, it's moving now. It's moving. It's grooving. That's kidding. It's not. So overall, I mean, honestly, we could end the live stream, and if you watch it back, you'll be able to refer to your chart and see if it took Asia from right here, if it took Asia's high, or if it traded below these lows. So you could check that out after, but I honestly might just end the live stream because maybe the live stream is holding it from ripping to the highs. I don't know. And I'll also say that there's no other trades for us today, so we'll clear that up. And the actual realized P&L is it's not that much. Well, I mean, it like depends on what is it? So I'm only out $951, which is very small for what I risk. It's actually 1-to-1 today, what I risked. I'm de-risking slightly just as I build more buffer on my my X phase here. So instead of doing like 250, I'm trying to do like 200. So like it's pretty much 200 right there. Or we could have used that extra risk in the trade. But I also could have ran quicker. So, you know what? I'm going to end the live stream. I foresee Asia High getting taken in the next at least 4 hours. Kidding. But yes, tune back in tomorrow with
No news again, eh?
no news, but what I hope is a more entertaining day, volatility-wise and P&L-wise. But today, 1 loss and 1 win. The win being bigger than the loss, so we're good here. The win's quite a bit bigger than the loss, actually. Yes, but the loss wouldn't happen on a regular day, and that's what I'm going to stand by. Okay, I should stop freaking rambling. I'm going to keep rambling forever. I'm just watching it move. It's not moving, but... All right, yes, tune in tomorrow.
See you.